I'm the lobbyist, the international lobbyist for the Biafra Public Government in Exile. This will be the first in a series of broadcasts addressed to the people Biafra. I've been compelled to begin these broadcasts because of what I have seen, and it seems to me that Biafrans are in desperate need of guidance and insights, and my own spirit has guided me in this direction. We have seen much chaos and much confusion over the past few months in the Biafra space, and I've concluded one of the biggest issues is the, unfortunately, unreasonableness and inability to reason of some of our Biafran friends. So you could view this series as an educational opportunity where you can come and become educated and become enlightened and learn how to think properly and reason properly. Because this is one of the biggest issues that I've seen, and we need people in our movement to be thinking in a coherent manner if we are going to defeat the zoo, if we're going to defeat Nigeria, which are very formidable enemies. We can't be, opposing the zoo with no brain. We need to be smart. We need to be strategic. We have to be able to think in a coherent manner if we're going to take on these very serious and formidable adversaries. And unfortunately, we have the inability to reason, the lack of reasonableness, and also this tendency towards self-destruction as well amongst our Biafran friends. And I think, as I said in a previous interview broadcast, Biafrans have a unique combination of being one of the world's most talented people, intelligent people, but also extremely have a propensity towards extreme self-destruction and self-sabotage. And unfortunately, the enemies of Biafrans have a very good understanding of what the weaknesses of Biafrans are, and they are very adept at exploiting those weaknesses. So if we want to move past that, I encourage all Biafrans to begin listening to the broadcasts that I will be doing, to learn how to think logically, to think reasonably, in order to not constantly fall into these constant traps, the result of which is continued servitude to the zoo, to the Fulani, and to the British. Now, to be constructive here, I will address one topic today because the issues of foolishness, of lack of reasonability, of self-destruction are very, very multifaceted. It will require a lot of education imparted from me to make a difference in this area. So this requires more than one episode. This will have to be a constant dialogue between me and the Biafran people. But I will be focusing today on one particular area that I would like my Biafran friends to work on. Now, it's very interesting. Since I've been involved in this movement, since Divine Providence connected me with Simon, I've been witness to many saboteurs, to many people who have been causing problems. And in every experience that I have had, most of the people who have been problematic or who cause problems all have one personality trait in common, which I found very interesting. This is a very fascinating observation. They all had the personality trait, and again, they did not say this explicitly, right? They didn't come out and say this, but it just emanates out of them of, I am the king or I am the queen, and if I'm not in charge or if it's not me, then I must burn down everything and destroy everything. Now, where does this come from? We need to look at this sociologically. One of the reasons why Biafrans or the Igbo people are enormously successful is, as they like to say, you like to say, you are Republican in nature. Yes, you are what I would call part of an acephalous society, meaning without a head, right? So you come to decisions through consensus. You are much more democratic in nature than many of your neighboring counterparts. And because of that, you have a society that's based on achievement and individual initiative. And that's a primary reason why the Biafrans, the Igbos, are enormously successful. But as a mentor of mine once said, your strengths can also be your weaknesses, and your weaknesses can also be your strengths. So there are positives to this, but there are also potential downsides to this. One of the phrases that I found interesting that came up on several occasions was in Biafra land or in Igbo land, there is no king, there's no queen. Everyone is the king and queen of their own household, right? Now, this is very important. I think one of the problems is that people take this phrase of there is no king, there is no queen, everyone's the king or queen of their own household, right? And they completely misinterpret that or reinterpret that to I am the king and I am the queen, right? So because of this, you have some Biafrans who are very prideful, very egoistic, very conceited, to the point where, regardless of how naturally intelligent they may be, their conceit makes them daft and foolish. And because of that, they engage in these self-destructive activities. Because, right, if your attitude is, I'm the king, I'm the queen, the Americans have a phrase about someone's floating on cloud 9, but given my experience with Biafrans, these people are floating on cloud 100, right? So you have one person's a king floating on cloud 100, I am the king. Another Biafran lady thinks they're the queen, floating on cloud 100. They're up there. There are other, let's say, Biafrans who think I'm the king, I'm the queen, also floating on cloud 100. The moment they intersect, invariably there's going to be a problem. One person says, I'm the king, the other person says, I'm the king. Invariably, they're going to start stabbing each other. They're going to start to do things against each other. They're going to start to try to undermine each other. There'll be jealousy. There will be envy. Out of that, there will be sabotage. And then you get into the very vicious and negative circle. Right? So that is a problem. And this is not a virtue. This is a very, very big weakness. And another problem that Biafrans have that I've noticed is they try to portray everything about themselves as positive, including negative traits. This is not a positive trait. This is a very negative and self-destructive trait. This is actually one of your biggest problems. And this is what's leading you to a lot of your own self-destruction. So let's try to be constructive here, right? My challenge to Biafrans is this. And this is going to be very difficult for some of you people because of your very big pride and ego. Very, very difficult, but will be very, very necessary. I want the Biafrans out there who have this mentality of I'm the king and I'm the queen and you're floating on a cloud to once a week try to go throughout the day, dropping this mentality of I'm the king or the queen. Just try to do this one time a week. This will be enormously difficult. Probably more, maybe more.
All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're welcome to this YouTube channel. This is the only channel where you get your legit information, raw data regarding what is actually happening in Finland. That is the case between our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and the zoo country called Nigeria. So a lot have been happening. If you can notice, the Finnish authorities have not been disclosing much regarding this particular arrest and this particular detention. Remember, Simon Ekpa was only taken into detention in the local police in some part of Finland. But the Nigerian government have a way of making these things look so much terrible. Remember earlier, ending of last year, the Nigerian media came out to tell us that Simon Ekpa had been taken to the world's toughest prison. From there, they came to tell us again that the Finnish authorities are planning the necessary document for Simon Ekpa to be extradited to Nigeria, which is all false. Firstly, the Finnish government have made it known to Nigeria that anything they have to do about this case, that is the terrorism case labeled against Simon Ekpa, everything must happen in the Finnish court. And the Nigerian government don't even have enough evidence for this particular accusation. The only evidence the Nigerian government have is that Simon Ekpa have been gaslighting and increasing terrorism in Southeast. That is the only evidence they have through his social media handle. Now, the Finnish authorities now, that is the Anthony representing that the lawyer representing our PM Simon Ekpa is now asking the federal government, since Simon Ekpa have been off social media, since Simon Ekpa have been taken into detention, what is actually happening in Biafra land? If you are a true Biafran and you are not missing this man, if you are a true Biafran and you are not missing the principalities, the kind of way this man handled the Nigerian terrorist group called Nigerian military. Look at this, over just few months of his arrest and detention. Look at what is happening all over Biafra land. Now the Fulani Janjaweeds, the Fulani headsmen are gradually taking over so many communities in Southeast. Look at what is happening in Benue. Remember, every year, farmers in Benue, very close to 1,000 farmers that are being buyed by these Fulani headsmen. Fulani headsmen are rapidly massacring innocent farmers in Benue and even in Ondo, because of recent yesterday a lot of riots are going on in Ondo. If you check different parts of the country called Zoo, so many riots are starting up now because of these so-called Fulani Janjaweeds, these so-called headsmen, and gradually they are penetrating into Biafra land. Remember, early this year, these people orchestrated the massacre of a whole community. Apart from that community, they are still doing a lot in Enugu State. What is your governor Mba doing? What is your so-called Nigerian army that you have been deployed everywhere in Southeast? Various checkpoints in Southeast, different checkpoints. What are they doing towards these killings of these Fulani headsmen? Nothing. You think the Nigerian Zoo army can protect you, Biafran? Rather, they will fry you, and rather, they will buy you and neutralize us, the Biafrans, because they have a very strong hatred for us, and they work hand in hand with these Fulani headsmen. How many of these governors have come out to condemn these killings? When last did Topus or them come out to talk about Fulani headsmen massacring and terrorizing so many communities in Imo State? When last did Sonudo come out to talk about this particular headsmen? Just a few days ago, Sonudo held a media chat with different media outlets in Nigeria, where he explained and talked about everything that is happening in Anambra State. But he refused to mention the Fulani attacks and massacres that have been happening in Biafra land. He refused to mention how these so-called security personnel, how his so-called security, his Operation Utogachi, have been killing innocent Biafrans, destroying homes and properties. Who is the cause of the insecurities in Southeast now? Can we still lay the blame on Simon Ekpa? People we are saying, Simon Ekpa have been off social media for close to 6 months now, or 5 months now, or let me say 4 months now. What is happening? What is happening in Biafra land? You can see how the Nigerian state is gradually collapsing. You can see what is happening in Rivers State. Who is going to talk? Who is going to talk? Who are you going to talk about? A dictatorship called Tinubu. A Tinubu APC government that is sinking the country called Nigeria. But the fact is that we, the Biafrans, will not sink with this particular country called Nigeria. This new country called Nigeria, is this thing a country? Are you proud? If they ask you now, are you proud to be called a Nigerian with all these atrocities happening? Look at a whole president suspending a governor just because he had a political issue with his godfather. How can you use the sin of one man to punish a whole state called River State, because you want to share the treasures and the royalties of the crude oil in Niger Delta? Because you know Fubara on his own did not agree to your so-called agreement, because you want to pipe and suck the River State economy low. All you guys want to have a different percentage in the River State allocations and River State wealth. That is the internal revenue of River State. That is the problem. Wike wants to have a share, Tinubu wants to have a share, and they have succeeded because their sole administrator is also their friend. And as we are hearing this morning, so much funds have been released to this. They've seized funds. That's the funds that have been seized, have been released to this so-called sole administrator without the help, without the consultation of the National Assembly. What kind of state, what kind of country is this? This is why we, the Biafrans, need to come together and fight this battle. We need to fight our way off the zoo called Nigeria, because the zoo is collapsing. Gradually, the zoo is collapsing. Look at what is happening in the zoo. You are in Southeast trying to fight insurgency, whereas in the North Central, Northwest, you can see Yobe, these ICC groups killing, buying Nigerian zoo soldiers on live television. The video is all over everywhere, all over social media. So who is the cause? The spirits of innocent Biafrans that have died for the cause of our freedom, that has died for the cause of our liberation. We keep hurting the Nigerian state. We keep hurting these politicians, because very soon they will have no other option than to sit on the round table with us to discuss our referendum. We need a country of our own. Gradually, Fulani herdsmen are terrorizing and occupying most of the states in the zoo country called Nigeria. And they are coming to Southeast, they are coming to Biafra land in full force, because they heard Simon Ekpa is no more there. They heard that the Biafran Liberation Army or the Biafran Defense Force is not as strong as before. I know how the Nigerian Janjaweed soldiers were so scared of Simon Ekpa. They were so scared of him. His instructions, his words were power. His instructions were fire. That is why if I'm looking at all these cabinet members that are going all over everywhere, fighting each other. This one is calling himself Sonny. This one is calling himself Ngozi. You guys have destroyed the solid foundation Simon Ekpa laid for us, the Biafrans. Simon Ekpa made a very, very strong promise to all the Biafrans in homeland. He promised us that he will expose and bring these Biafrans to us. He laid a very, very strong foundation. The Nigerian zoo armies, we are very, very scared. Even these Fulani Janjaweeds, we are very, very scared. These Fulani headsmen, they were very, very scared to come close to any land or any community in Biafra land when this man was active on Exando. How many of your so-called deputy, prime minister or your so-called minister of finance have come out to do half of what Simon Ekpa have done? Simon Ekpa is very, very intelligent. Everything he did on X-Handle was to condemn the criminal activities of the Nigerian terrorists in Biafra land by exposing them. The Biafran Liberation Army and the Biafran Defense Force, we are so strong that the Nigerian military, we are so scared. Even these so-called Fulani headsmen, we are so scared to come close to our lands. So what is happening now? Who is crying? The same people that condemned Simon Ekpa, the same people that came together and condemned him, saying that he's the one instigating insecurities in Southeast. They are the same people now crying about Fulani headsmen. They are crying of the insecurities and the way these Fulani herdsmen have destroyed and raped our innocent women. These are the same people that condemn the actions of our PM Simon Ekpa, a strong man that fought the Nigerian military, that dealt with Musa. Musa no dey use ear hear Simon Ekpa even till today. Left for Musa, he has been asking, with the help of the Attorney General, they have been asking Finland to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria so that they can fly him over here. But that can never happen because Simon Ekpa, the Finnish authorities have vowed to protect him. Now, Musa have the right to talk. When Simon Ekpa was active, Musa was doing nothing. The soldiers were scared because of how powerful the Biafran Liberation Army are. Every morning, Simon Ekpa comes up with a very, very strong revolution about the zoo country called Nigeria. So my brothers, my sister, if you are in diaspora or anywhere in the zoo, do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is the only YouTube channel where you get your legit information raw data regarding what is actually happening in Southeast. That's the Biafra land, that's the war between the Biafra Liberation Army and the Zoo Army of Nigeria. So gradually, our PM will be released. Gradually, Simon Ekpa will be freed from the Finnish prison, Finnish detention, because the Nigerian government don't have any strong evidence against him. They don't even know where he's from. They don't even know anything about him. The only thing they keep talking about is he has been gaslighting terrorism in Biafra land. So now he has been in detention. Who is causing the terrorism? Who is causing the massacre? Who is causing the neutralization of innocent Biafrans in Biafra land? Who is causing it? So these are things the Finnish authorities have considered. These are things that the Finnish court have considered, so that they will let this man free. And they will adhere to the UN order to let him free. The Nigerian government is a joke. A government that kills Christians. Do you know how many Christians that die in the north every year? Of recent, a reverend father was kidnapped and killed in Nasarawa or Yobe, one of these Hausa states. Do you know thousands of Christians that die in these Muslim lands? Most of them, the Nigerian propaganda media will not be able to share all these things to you guys. That is why we, the local media, we continue to spread all this information to the whole world, so that at last the whole world will realize what is actually happening in Biafra land. So do well to share your opinions in the comment section, react to these videos, subscribe, turn on notification button for more updates and more videos. You can check back our previous videos, then you understand what we're talking about. You understand how day by day we have given updates regarding this our movement, because the federal government need to know this. No matter how many Simon Ekpa you try to condemn, or no matter how many Mazenna Dekalo you try to condemn, there are thousands of Mazenna Dekalo and thousands of Simon Ekpa out there to pick up this agitation. This is something that must surely happen. The freedom of the people of Biafra is a must. It's something that must surely happen. The United States of Biafra will someday be recognized as a country, and that's the fact. We have gone into a conventional war with the Nigerian state, a war that killed close to 4 million people. So we are not going into any conventional war with the Nigerian state. All we are doing is to spread this information, to tell our stories to the whole world, to tell our stories to the different strong organizations in the world, to let them know how this particular Nigerian state have continued to marginalize the Igbos, have continued to deal with the Igbos, have continued to march on our rights. Even after the war, the kind of atrocities these people committed in Biafra land, the killings that happened in Asaba, so many things that we need the world to know about, to know how the Nigerian state have dealt with us. So it's time for us to speak up. It's time for us to talk about our freedom. It's time for us to keep talking about our freedom. Before the arrest of detention of Simon Ekpa, over 50 million Biafrans have voted for our referendum, and the votes are still going on. They want to make sure that they neutralize every hand or every air that we, the Biafrans, will breathe towards our freedom. Firstly, they kept Mazenna Dekalo in detention, in DSS detention, getting to 4 years now. Secondly, with the help of Soludo and so many Southeast politicians, and the help of all these Biafran politicians, they came together. They wrote a petition which was forwarded by the Attorney General of Nigeria to Finnish authorities. That is why the only reason why the Finnish local police have to detain our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. That is the fact. They funded the arrest and detention of our PM Simon Ekpa, but they have failed, because he will come like a Messiah. He will come like a Messiah, because what he's fighting for is a just cause. And God in heaven knows that we, the Biafrans, really need this freedom. We need to be freed from the zoo. We have nothing in common with the zoo. We already have a government in exile. So my people, let's keep talking about our movement. Let's keep talking about our freedom. Let's keep spreading this information, so that at last we may come on the round table with the Nigerian state to discuss our referendum, where you and I and our children, our grandchildren will benefit from, because our forefathers fought for this particular cause. Our forefathers died for this particular cause. So we'll continue to spread the message of freedom, because we are the lovers of freedom. We, the Biafrans, are lovers of freedom, and we are not ready to go into any conventional war with the Nigerian state. Strategically, we will defeat them. we are already defeating them. We are already defeating them. Gradually, the Tinubu government will sink, and we, the Biafrans, will have no other option but to rejoice. Now, I'll be playing important voice note. Do well to listen so that you can understand the authenticity and dignity of what we are fighting about. Now, listen as you stay tuned.
If a fan alo bole dunyalo faloba. If a fan alo,
I can tell you, sir.
go ahead.
Sir?
Go ahead.
Of
If
course,
a fan
it's
alo
obvious.
bole
It's
dunyalo faloba.
ha chọọ ka ihe ọbụla ya na-eme, ha chọọ ịha nke this freedom, ha chọọ idestroy ihe ọbụla ihe arụrụ arụ, mana anyị nwere okwu nchọ eme ka amala na that I want them to understand that this struggle is in the hand of Chukwuka Abbiama himself. And Chukwuka Abbiama himself will take charge over this fight. And I want everybody, all of them, to understand that after there, we are coming back home. Whether they like it or not, we are coming back home, and it's his home that will sort everything, every situation. They should understand. This man now, this Musa don't even complain anymore. He's happy. Every time you see him on the channel talking, bragging, he's happy. He's happy, saying that and everything has come, everything. Look at how they are killing our people. They killed one of my brother. In Uguta, they killed one of my brother. And these people are there complaining. They are not even concentrating. I don't even know the platform to go. When you go to this person, you think this person is saying the truth. You go to this person is saying the same thing. They are just confusing themselves and still collecting money from Biafrans without even reasoning the life of people, the life of men people have died because of this very struggle. People have gone down. People is still dying, but they don't even care. They don't even care. And what they are there, they are just fighting for what? I don't even know what is the problem that they cannot even settle. I don't understand. I cried to that. I said, Chukwuka Abbiama, please. Before you came online, I cried. I said, God of Biafra Unite, please. God of Mazina Ndikalu, please. God of Samuel Ekpa, please interfere. Bring Biafra Unite back on air so that your people will not go far. Please, Chukwuka Abbiama. And then he has answered my cry. The day I saw you online, you will not understand how I felt that day. I'm one of you. I started following you since 2018. So it's been a long way between me following you, sir. But I want Biafrans to understand that if there is no room anywhere, this struggle is nothing. Nobody, our leader even said it. Mazina Dokukalu said that if someone tell you we are working underground, make you understand that person is a scam. There is nothing underground. If you want to work for this Biafra, you have to be pure. Iga snow.
Did you hear Mazin Namdekano when he said, I am tired of broadcasting?
Yes, sir.
I need arms and ammunition to fight for my country. Did you hear him say that?
I hear him, sir.
Thank you, Mazi. God bless you for your contribution. I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. More grace, sir.
Yeah. All right. I will bring 2 more persons and then we will call it a day or night, whatever. But before bringing the next person, Casper, I want to highlight one comment, and so that you see how stupid some of our people are, how ignorant some of our people are. Let me move on. Casper, please grab the microphone.
Hello.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Biafra Unite.
You're welcome.
I'm very happy to hear from you. Today is my first time of calling you. I've been following you for over 8 years now, and through you, I joined this struggle. So everything that happened, even the country I reside, at least I know more things. Of course, I joined them, you understand. So the way this issue is happening to me, I was tired, you understand me. So the reason I'm calling you because without this nothing, Because me, I'm tired, honestly, because it's there. I'm not even the enter online again, even Twitter, all of them. I just cut off everything because everything time me, I don't see anything. My contribution is, I am begging you, please, if there is anything you can do to create for us to be putting for our defense for now, if our PM is out, that's what I'm suggesting. I know that a lot of Biafrans, that one will be for defense alone. You understand me? I know that a lot of Biafra, even in diaspora here, they will contribute. You understand? Them in this diaspora here, when they continue for their online, what they are doing. But as long as men on ground, make sure you take charge of that one. Because Biafrans trust you, and me too. I trust and have confidence in you. So that's my contribution, please. Because that man on ground, now everything, all this is we are hearing, social media, this, that. My brother, all those one are story. So even the country I decide, when I speak to the coordinator, they will not even give me good response. Even she herself complain that the way things are going, she herself tired, no those things. So everybody, all of them are confused. So even myself, I confused. She said, I stop donating money and I can't lie you. So please, if there is anything you can do for us to contribute for the defense, please do it fast because they say delay is dangerous. Please.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for your contribution. But let me make it very clear this very moment. From the beginning that I joined this very freedom movement for Biafra, I told myself that I'm going to be sincere, pure, whiter than white, and whiter than snow, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always say.
Yes, that's true.
So, in this very movement for freedom, I also told myself that anything concerning money, anything about money, will never come or enter my hand.
Okay.
Now, there's a time we usually do when we used to do fundraising weekly or monthly. A lot of people used to call me saying they want to send money to me so that I will help them to pay to the government account, because they don't know how to contribute.
Yes, that's true.
Many people, not one, not two, a lot of people used to contact me asking to send money to me so I can help them pay into the government account. So, do you know what I used to do? I used to call them, put them through on a virtual call, and direct them